Hello, everyone. Diana Rankin here. So glad to see you and thank you. We already have people coming to be on our live stream, and I'm always so happy to have you there. Um, you help me hold the energy, or help hold the energy for me, I should say. And I want to thank everybody who is holding the energy of love. It is so necessary in today's world. That's not to say we don't get upset, we certainly do, but we move back into the place of love. So let me say hello. Juliet says, "Hi, Diana and all. Hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving." I had a great day. I call it the day of Thanksgiving, and it was certainly a day of being thankful for me. I was with family, and it was just a really special Thanksgiving yesterday. So thank you. Um, and BB Bob says, "Hello, Diana. I hope you're doing well. Greetings from Amsterdam." Well, we this is Sheila on her other change of address there. And when you say Amsterdam, Sheila, I know it's you. I can't really see the picture; it's too small. And I thought, "Baby Bob, I know that, I know that, I know that," and it's Sheila. So good to see you. Missy says, "Good morning from Seattle." Well, good morning. It's pretty early where you are still, Missy, 3 hours before us. And Sheila says, "Baby Bob says, yes, it's me. Ha ha, Sheila." Sandra says, "Hello, everyone." And Sandra, I believe, is from Germany. So good to see all of you. Glad to have you here. We're going to get into our question today pretty quickly here. It's a question from one of our well, it's a question I had a discussion with someone, and they are a viewer, and so we were just in our discussion, this question came up, and they were asking, how do we deal with our own guilt about not being in pain, about when we read so much on the news or we see so much going on with others in pain? How do we deal with that? And I want to also say, you know, life gives us what we can handle, and that's it. It doesn't expect us to take on anything we can't handle. And so sometimes we have to step back and shut out the world and just be with ourselves. um, Sometimes we can't handle anything. So especially those of us who are sensitive and old souls, and if you're part of our family, you are. And please, the first thing you have to do is take care of yourself. But I do want to get into what Philip, my spirit guide, talks to us about. How do we deal with all the pain that others are experiencing when our own lives are without pain? Often I feel guilty, but I feel I should be doing more. But what? And we're going to answer that question. Missy says, "If life gives us what we can handle, then when people take their own lives, is that depression demonic?" Um, okay, I'm going to answer that, but normally I ask you if you would put the questions of a general nature in um, the comments below, and we will. I like to write out the answers so I don't forget anything. But what I want to say, because you're using depression demonic, no, Missy, it's not demonic. It's merely we each have a brain that's wired a certain way. That wiring can be changed, is changed as we grow. But demonic, I'm sorry, I don't believe in demons of that nature. I firmly believe if we live in love, practice love, let love be our life, we ban anything that isn't of love. Now, that's not to say we never get hurt. That's not to say we never get angry, but it is to say we live in love. Depression, it's not funny, but depression is a feeling of often I'm not doing enough. Like with guilt, I'm not doing enough. So I think this will help you out um, with what we're going to say today. So let's get going. Again, the questions are, Missy says, "Thank you." Okay, keep listening, Missy. And I always say, listen to the end of Philip's message, because that's really where he tells us this is what you need to do. Everything up to that very end is explaining. Okay, so here are the questions. How do we deal with all the pain that others are experiencing when our own lives are without pain? Often I feel guilty. I feel I should be doing more, but what? Let us begin by reminding you that no one helps themselves, helps others who are in peril, or helps the energy in the world by feeling guilt over that which they can't control. I'm going to repeat that. Let us begin by reminding you that no one helps themselves, helps others who are in peril, or helps the energy in the world by feeling guilt over that which they can't control. We give praise that your life is without pain. Yes, this has not always been so, or you would not understand or have empathy for those who are currently experiencing pain. We thank you and praise you for caring. It's like I want to reread every paragraph here, but I won't. I'll go on. But this is, you understand pain because you've experienced it. Doesn't mean you have to have it all the time. No, you've healed it, so you don't have to have it. Okay, Philip goes on to say, this said, we ask you to step back and see the situation from a perspective different from that of the human. This is not to say we leave behind your empathy or give up the human knowledge of situations. No, it is to say that while holding knowledge of the human situation, you also see the deeper unfolding. This is to say, see the situation from the spirit self, which will give you a greater perspective than just seeing the situation from the human self. For example, let us say you read about a person being thrown to the ground, handcuffed, and thrown into the car by masked men claiming to be ICE agents. And we've all been reading this, and it's horrible. From the human's perspective, this is horribly wrong. It injures your heart to learn of it. You write letters, you call politicians, you march with others in protest. You do what you can do, but it doesn't feel like it's enough because people are still being sent away by ICE, so you feel guilty. Also, I want to interject here, and you may be writing letters, you may be calling politicians, you may be marching, you're doing what you can do. Okay? So let go of the guilt. Remember, it's not helping anybody, especially you. So here we go. Let's step back and remove the guilt and look at the same situation from a higher perspective. First, we must remind you that what we are saying is a set of examples. We do not know what the other lived in another life experience. We are giving suggestions as to what could have been to help you understand all is not as it seems when looked at from the human perspective. That said, we continue. Excuse me. Looking at life from the higher perspective, we ask, what if in another life, the person being handcuffed and sent away was a Nazi soldier at a concentration camp in Germany in the 1930s, 40s? Or what if the individual being cuffed has a soul journey in this life to help those trapped in internment camps? Or what if the one being handcuffed and the one handcuffed have a soul agreement to play out this play? Or what if, well, you understand, what we are saying is no one can ever judge another, for we do not know the deeper meaning of what is taking place. This is not to say, excuse me, my throat is a little dry, I guess. Okay, this is not to say you should stay silent when witnessing or hearing about that which your human perspective tells you is wrong. Yes, speak out if it's right for you. This is the way harm is stopped for others and future generations. It is to say, speak out not from guilt or anger, but from love. not from righteousness, but from the beacon of divine love that dwells in your heart and in the spirit of all beings. This, dear ones, is how you live without guilt and how you help to create a kinder world. I want to reread that last bit, but I want to also first say when Philip says speak out, he is also, what he's saying is you may simply say a prayer in your own private area. You may speak out against politicians. You may use social media. Whatever your speaking out is, it can be a silent prayer. It can be, again, a phone call or a letter, but it has to be done in love. So what Philip is saying, this is not to say you should stay silent when witnessing or hearing about that which your human perspective tells you is wrong. Yes, speak out. But again, it can be a silent prayer. Or you can go outside in nature and speak love. You can send energy to those who are handcuffed and those who are doing the handcuffing, but sending loving energy. This is the way harm is stopped for others and future generations. It is to say, speak out. Sorry, something just popped up on the screen and caught my attention. I don't know what it is. We'll ignore it. It is to say, speak out, not from guilt or anger, but from love, not from righteousness, but from the beacon of divine love that dwells in your heart and in the spirit of all beings. This, dear ones, is how you live without guilt and how you help to create a kinder world. It also will help you with burnout. It will help you just to say that prayer, just to say, send love to the one being handcuffed and the one doing the handcuffed and the ones behind the handcuffing as well. All right, let's see. Gaida says, hello, everyone from Gaida in Woodridge, Illinois, USA. Enjoy your day. Andrea says, hello in Port Orchard, Washington. I love it. I love it. Thank you. Missy says, hello, Port Orchard, Washington. And Wendy says, thank you, Diana and Philip. And I think it's Wendy. I do get a little confused sometimes. MRS and W5. I think that's Wendy. Says, thank you, Diana and Philip. And Sheila says, please send some good energy. I am in an unfortunate situation. Let us all just hold Sheila in love. We do this in our community, and we are sending her healing energy and loving energy and lots of hugs for Sheila in Amsterdam. And that's what I love about this community. I can ask you to do that, and I know every single person who hears the sound of my voice is sending you love, Sheila, and sending you energy to help you know what decisions are best for you and help you know what to do in the situation and give you not only the strength to do it, but give you the loving heart to get through it. Oh, my friends, we are not in easy times, not in the world, and certainly not in the US, but we're going to get through this. We are. And we're coming into the holiday season, and that energy, let's let it lift us up. Let's let it fill our hearts with love and allow us to feel, sorry, something just again popped up on the screen. Let us feel the joy. Whatever our spiritual beliefs or religion, let it be our holiday season where we feel love and joy and good health. Thank you all for being here today. For those of you who could not make it and are watching later, thank you for your thumbs up and your comments, and you are so appreciated. We're healing our world. We can do this. Sheila says, thank you, Diana. Thank you, Sheila. Thank you all for the love you send to me and to the world. Thank you all for the love that you receive from us. I love you. Bye for now. Heal the world, Wendy says. Heal the world. Yes, we are.